How many times have you gotten a big inspired idea and you get really worked up about it? You're really excited. You can really feel it in your heart. It feels awesome. You're ready to move forward. You want to make this thing happen. And then the more you think about it, you start to get a little overwhelmed to the point where you don't do anything. Ideas start swirling around in your head. You start thinking about, well, I'm going to need to make this decision and I'm going to need to do that thing. And oh, but then what about these, 15 things that are going to have to happen? And gosh, I don't know how to do this other part. I've never done that before. And so you get to this place in your head where all of a sudden your big, beautiful vision, your idea, your desire, it feels like it's too big. It becomes really overwhelming. Doubt creeps in, some fear creeps in, and you end up stopping. You just back off. And then a really common thing a lot of people will do at this point is they'll say, well, I've got to figure out XYZ and then I can start. And they will put it off to some future date, or it's going to be based on some circumstance that changes, and then they can make the decision. And so that's what today's video is all about. It's to inspire you to take the next step. Take that step, because if you don't, if you say to yourself, well, I've got to figure all these things out, or this circumstance has to change, or I've got to feel a little bit differently and then I can do it, you are lying to yourself, because none of that is real. None of that is true. Those are just rules that you're making up in your head that pacify your subconscious mind so that you don't take the actions you need to do to change. Because you see, the subconscious mind, it is on red alert when you have a great idea or a vision or a desire. And it sees that, and all it knows to think is that that is different from the status quo. And to the subconscious mind, that anything being different is seen as bad. And it's seen as, we need to go on red alert, we need to stop her, warning, warning. And it will throw up these rules, these things in your head that confuse you and that cause doubt in your mind and that get you to stop. And if you agree with it, if you stop, then the subconscious mind has won and you don't get your dream. You don't get to live your vision. It remains out there, some untouchable thing that you never get close to. So think about this for a minute. If it was easy to live our dreams, why would anyone not, right? Like, everyone would. We all would. You'd look around your neighborhood, your communities, wherever you are, and everyone would be living their best life. But we don't see that. Why do we not see that? Does it mean that these people don't have inspired ideas? Do they not have big visions or big dreams? Some of them may have convinced themselves they don't. Whole different video. However, everyone has desires. Everyone has dreams, even if they don't realize it themselves, or if they've blocked their ability to hear that voice of desire inside of them. But everyone has it. And what happens to people when they have that is they start to think about it, like I said at the beginning, and then they overanalyze and they stop themselves. And the biggest thing that stops people, apart from these ideas and this confusion and overwhelm, is they get to this point where it starts to feel a little uncomfortable to think of making a change, to think of making some of these decisions, because that's not the life they're living right now. So to think of making any of these decisions means some things are going to have to change. It means you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. And you've heard this saying before, and I think I said this on the last video or two, is that nothing that you really want is inside your comfort zone. It's all on the outside. And, I can speak for myself, at least when it comes from the perspective of creating a business. And I know that not everyone has that vision or that dream or desire, but there's lots of big dreams and desires that require a lot of planning and a lot of steps to create it, right? So, but from a business aspect, if you're thinking about creating a new business, I know for myself is that, I didn't have a clue. I had no idea when I left my corporate job how to start a business, let alone how to make it successful. But the difference between a person who, can register a dream and actually starts to move out of their comfort zone is they don't let their not knowing stop them. They're not willing to. And what happened with me is I was in my comfort zone. I mean, I had a cushy life. I mean, like I wasn't fleeing some horrible situation. I had an amazing family, still do. I live in a great neighborhood. We have amazing neighbors, friends. My son went to great schools. Like everything was good. I was making a great salary in my corporate job. I was respected there. I mean, there was nothing that I needed to change about my life. There was no need to change, except for the fact that I kept feeling this nudge. I got to the point where I couldn't ignore it. So the difference between a person that registers that feeling of a bigger desire, a yearning, something nudging them, a higher purpose, whatever it may be for you, and the person who actually moves forward is whether or not you're willing to leave that comfort zone. And that doesn't mean, I mean, I did all this stuff, I still, live in the home that I started out in. I still live with, my family's amazing, right? My son still goes to an amazing school. I mean, none of those things changed. It's just that my way of thinking really was my comfort zone. And your way of thinking is your comfort zone. And one of my mentors calls this middle class thinking. Most of us are of a middle class mindset. That's, if you're listening to this, that's probably where you're at. And that comes with a certain set of beliefs. And so if you're living in this middle class mindset, there are certain rules associated with that. And you're kind of taught and conditioned that we don't break those rules. So to move out of your comfort zone, to start to go after what you want, means you need to break some rules. You need to change some of that conditioning. And that's what the discomfort is. That's what feels so uncomfortable. There is an immense amount of personal growth that has to take place for you to step into your bigger vision. And I don't care what the bigger vision is. It doesn't matter. There is personal growth required. And it doesn't matter how much growth you've done up till now. It hasn't been enough to bring you that next thing that you want. Because if it was, you'd have it. You'd have it right now. So to create that next thing, there is a step you have to take. There is a decision that you need to make. And although the one decision or the one step is not actually going to get you the thing, especially if it's kind of a bigger thing, it's not going to be just a one and done, but you need to make the first step and the first decision in order to get on the path to creating that. You don't have to know, in fact, you will never know all of the steps that will be required of you, because you will never know where you need to grow to within yourself to have that thing in your life. It's different for everyone. It's different for everything that you create. But you do need to know what the first thing is. And what I don't want to hear any of you thinking is, well, okay, I've got this dream and I don't even know what the first step is, because that is a lie. That is not true. You do know. And I want you to think about this for a minute. What is the most present to you thing that you want? Because I'm pretty sure if you don't know what you want right now, if you have absolutely no clue what you want, I don't even think you'd be watching this. So I'm pretty sure that you feel something. There is some yearning inside of you of something that you want, some vision. So bring that into your mind. It could be lots of things, but bring in the most present thing for you right now. Because what you did right there, right now, was you basically put yourself in resonance with it. That's the only way you could even register that you have this desire. You couldn't register that it's even a want or a desire or a nudge or anything if it wasn't in resonance with you right now. So in the spiritual realm, it is in resonance with you. You are one with it right now. So if you want to experience that thing that you are already connected with in the spiritual realm, and you want to experience it in the physical realm, there needs to be a physical action. And our physical actions come from our thoughts. So if it's something that is you don't have right now, you need to make a decision in your mind because that creates a thought. And the decision is, I'm going for this. I'm doing it. I'm enough thinking about it. I'm doing it. That doesn't mean that tomorrow you change your mind and you say, well, maybe I'm not going for it. The first or the next right decision is, am I committing to this or not? Is this going to be in my life or not? Yes or no. It is really as simple as that. It's deciding if you're going to move in that direction or if you're going to stay in the comfort zone that you're in. And there's no wrong answer. But if you are someone who is driven and determined to go for that thing, if you are tired, and this is what happened to me, is I got to the place where it was more uncomfortable to live in my comfort zone than it was to imagine me taking some of those scary steps. I mean, it can be scary, it can be risky, there's doubt, there's fear, there's all kinds of things come up. That's part of the growth. But I got to the point, even knowing that, ooh, this is probably going to be scary and risky, that actually felt better to me than staying in my comfort zone. So when you get to that point, and that point is different for everyone, you come to this point where I've got to make this decision. I'm either doing it or I'm not. I'm either, committing or I'm going to just stop thinking about it and stop talking about it. Once you commit, that's the first next decision that you need to make. Am I doing this or not? Once you say yes, then you back that up. You must back that up with an action. You must. If you don't, you get no further. And I liken this to an analogy I use a lot about a GPS in a car. You imagine that you want to, let's say you're in New York and you want to drive to Los Angeles. So you put your destination into your GPS. Okay, I'm going to LA. The GPS will not, first of all, will not tell you anything until you commit to going. And what does commit to going look like when you're in a car? It looks like starting up the engine and pulling out, driving forward. You've actually got to start driving before you're going to even get a direction. You need to start moving. Once you start moving, then immediately, and I do mean immediately, you will get the first step, okay, you need to take a right here at the end of your driveway or whatever it is. So you'll get the first step, but not till you make that first right decision, which is, okay, I'm moving forward. Then when you follow that up with the action, you move forward, you get the next step. It comes to you immediately. If you take that next step, you're going to get the next step and the next step. And as long as you keep going, making the right next decision, you will eventually get to your end result. And even if you make a mistake along the way, you turn somewhere before you were supposed to, you make a wrong turn or something happens to the car and you have to stop, as long as you get going again, you will be rerouted to your destination. So you don't have to know the whole plan. In fact, you never will know the whole plan in advance. All you do need to do, though, is make that right next decision and back it up with the action, because you're bringing it into the physical manifestation. You're pulling it from the ether, from the spiritual realm. It's already connected to you there, and you're making it manifest physically. And that requires that right next decision and that right next action to back it up. And that is it. If we allow ourselves to get stuck or get stopped because it feels like such a big thing, and there's lots of decisions coming and there's lots of right turns and left turns and stuff's going to be going on, and you might go off the path a time or two, and there might be a breakdown of the car. You might have a delay. As long as you keep making the next right decision and the next right action, you'll get there. But if we allow those things to stop us along the way, if you make a wrong turn and you think, forget it, I'm done, I'm out, you get no more instructions, you get no more directions, and you don't get there. everything stops. But as long as you keep moving, you eventually get there. Another way to look at this, and you might want to write this down, this is a question that you can ask yourself to sort of validate the types of decisions that you're making, is you can ask yourself, am I choosing, it's actually a two-part question, am I choosing in favor of what I want? Am I choosing, is this choice right now that I'm making in favor of my dream? Is it moving me closer to my dream, or is it taking me further away? And don't fool yourself into thinking that no decision is keeping you right where you are. No decision is actually moving you further away. So you are either moving closer or further away by whether you say yes and take an action in that direction, or you stand still or say no. The second part of the question is, am I moving in favor of my desire? Is my action backing up my choice? Am I doing something that is taking me in the direction I want to go? These are two very important questions that you can use if you want to get on the path and stay on the path to your dream. And if you start noticing that you're answering a lot of no's, then that's a time to reevaluate and to get real with yourself, because you're probably falling victim again to that middle class thinking that it is rules based. I mean, all of our thoughts are kind of in a paradigm of rules, right? So you're falling into that realm, and that is going to keep you in the comfort zone. If you've had enough of the status quo and you really want to move on, we do need to make decisions in the direction of where we want to go, and we need to back that up with actions in the direction of where we want to go. And that is just doing it one decision at a time to get there. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson today. Please feel free to send me your comments on this. And if you have ideas for future topics, if there's something that you're wrestling with that you'd love me to talk about from my perspective, I am happy to hear your ideas, and I'm always looking for ways that I can serve you better. So please share those with me. You can reach out at jill@ishinekids.com, or you can put it in the comment section in our Facebook group or on my YouTube channel, and I will take all those under consideration. And I want to tell you about something really exciting. I just literally got the inspiration to do this like 2 days ago, and I put it out there already now because I'm so excited, is I am opening up a brand new course called Unleash Your Money Voice. And we're starting on July 15th. It's a 3-week workshop intensive. So we're going to go deep and we're going to go fast, and we're going to do it through the month of July. We come together live 3 times, and what we're doing is you will discover your money voice. So why money voice? Why are we talking about money? Well, to live your dream, almost no matter what your dream is, in some way, shape, or form, there's a connection between what you want and money. Money touches almost every area of our life. And it's where people have the biggest blocks and the biggest amount of baggage is around their money. So it's kind of like that low-hanging fruit where we can see a lot about what is going on for you through understanding who you are when it comes to money. And that is basically your money voice. And we want to empower your money voice. We want you to unleash the empowered you, that empowered you who is speaking your money voice. And when we talk about the money voice, it's also this idea of we all have our own personal path to wealth. There is not just one way or 2 ways or 3 ways. You actually have a unique way of creating wealth. And that's what your money voice is. It's the expression of that unique way that you create wealth. So you will discover what that is for you. And then I'll take you through exercises and visualizations and deep dives where you will start to really understand yourself from your empowered money voice, the one that's authentic to you. And you'll make some new decisions, because remember what we're talking about today. It's all about making that next right decision and then moving in that next right direction and action. And so the new decisions you make through that program will get you on that path, and it will keep you on that path as long as you follow them. So we're starting July 15th. If you want to check that out and join us, you can go to ishinewealth.com/money voice. ishinewealth.com/money voice. We also have special summer pricing that is expiring on July 10th. So get in there while the pricing exists if this feels like it is your right next step. So until next time, I look forward to seeing you again. Stay well, have a great week, and keep on moving towards your dreams. Bye for now.